Okay, for block sanding you need to get a file board. You can get these at any automotive paint supply stores. They're not expensive, they're about $20 roughly, and they sell the sandpaper that goes on it. You can buy a Velcro one, or you can buy the normal one, or they sell a sticky one. The normal one has, you just clip it on both ends, on there, and away you go. For block sanding, it's always back and forth, like a 45-degree angle, back and forth. Now you're just going down a little bit to start knocking down some of the paint, and then we switch to the opposite side and go on 45 again. And keep going down. What I usually do is take an area, say there's a line in the hood here, so I'll just do one area at a time. If there is no line in the hood, I would try and do half the hood in one shot, long strokes, and you can find in big areas, so any imperfection will show up better on a bigger area. For the whole hood to make sure it's flat. But if you could find an area, say on top of the fender here, there's a curve here and here, so I can stay in between this and work it back and forth to find out any imperfections. Like I said, I like to do certain areas at a time, so I find an area like there's a line in the car here and here. So what I do is I'll block sand in between this to find any imperfections, and it breaks up the panel, so when you do the car, all the lines end up being straight. That's the whole point of doing this, so you can find imperfection and get the car actually straight. Then I'll go from this down to this area, where the line is here and the line from here, and then I'll block sand this back and forth through the door, because you want to go through the panels to make sure these two panels are even. So when you look down the car when it's finished, and all the panels line up nicely, and that's what gives you a quality finish. Back and forth on like a 45, back and forth, and then I'll go the opposite way. And I'll take it down a little bit one way and a little bit more the next way, and I'll keep doing that back and forth till it's all flat. And if there's any shiny spots, that's your low spot. Then you can move on to this area. Now if the car didn't have this line in the hood, I would do half the hood, same procedure. Then I would jump to the other side of the hood and cross over past the area I just finished. And I have a soft cloth that I use to wipe the dust away, so I can see how far I've gone in sanding. And I keep an automotive body hammer with me, and it has a flat surface for tapping down and leveling. So what I do is I find a high crown, I can tap it down and keep board filing down to get a nicer finish and get to where I want to get. I can find that there's a high spot here, so I take my rag, I wipe off the dust from the paint, and I find my spot where I'm hitting here with the high spot. Then I take my body hammer with the flat end and I tap down the high spot, and that lets me sand down further without this getting in the way and not letting me get down level. And it has to come down anyways when you do your body work. So if I do it now, it eliminates one step later.